Good day everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Dazza, and today we're going to go over 6 tips and tricks about a new game my girlfriend found on Steam called Dawn of Defiance. This is a new survival game set within the Greek mythos, with an expansive map and unique survival systems to challenge players within the newly released game on Steam. Dawn of Defiance is an early access, so some of these tips and tricks are subject to what the current balance of the game is, as of this time of recording. These are my personal 6 tips and tricks to get you started within Dawn of Defiance. Our first tip we'll be going over is to earn experience by constantly doing things, whether that will be running, foraging, chopping trees, and using weapons. The way the experience works in Dawn of Defiance is by doing the mentioned tasks. Early on it might seem tedious to chop down a lot of trees, but later on in the game, it will benefit you greatly by providing stamina reductions and other bonuses. Even while exploring and running to a location, I constantly gather bushes and berries just to level the foraging. Speaking of the next tip, explore the land. While initially you'll have an intro quest to get you started, eventually you'll finish the quest line and wonder what you need to do next. To uncover the next lot of quests, you need to explore. Even when you reach the crossroad mainland, the shrines you need for the main objective are dotted across the map, and you won't have the labor quests known to you unless you discover the shrines. Exploring also helps with resources and items, as most ores and tree types are spread out across the map. When exploring early on, just be wary of Gorgon spawns and soldiers, as they can easily kill you at the beginning of the game. For my next tip, use potions as often as you can, even the health and stamina ones you can make at the start of the game. All potions give you super beneficial effects, especially in the early game. If you're having a difficult time exploring due to stamina consumption, definitely use the stamina potions to make that side of the game easier. Just remember, you can only have one potion buff at a time, so pick the appropriate potion for the situation you're in. Moving on, my next tip is to do not be afraid to upgrade your gear to the next tier. You might be tempted to hold off for iron, steel, or ambrosia, but if you're particularly struggling with combat encounters, upgrading your armor and weapons could prove beneficial. You might find you'd survive more encounters with small, minor upgrades. It is the same with tools. If you're finding you need more durability and power, upgrade a tier. There is nothing wrong with wanting to hold off, but don't limit yourself with lower tier gear. For tip number 5, hunt as often as you can. Hunting is one of the core components of the game, which can net you various useful resources, but later on with the hunting questline, you'll require various 3-star hunts to complete these quests. My advice is to hold on to any 3-star hunts, and don't butcher them and keep them for the mentioned questline. Holding on to 3-star hunts for the questline will get you a lot of gold for the recipes you need to buy. Whenever you see an animal when traveling, take some time and hunt it down. And for my final tip is to remember where certain resources are and when to get them. Copper is easiest to find and mostly found within the normal areas, and isn't too hard to get. Tin and dark wood can be found within the dark forest, and isn't too hard of an area to explore. Silver and ancient wood can be found within the desert, which is a much harder area to explore due to the amount of golems that are present. Ancient wood can be found by mining these stumps with a pick, as the wood is actually petrified and more akin to a rock. Iron can be mostly found within the mountains in the south, but I advise against going here early on due to the amount of gorgons that can be found. For some easy gold, head to this location in the mountains, in the middle of the map near the world border, to the unfinished area. Just be wary of a captain that is nearby. He shouldn't be too hard to deal with by the time you're able to reach this area in the game. I do hope you find these tips and tricks helpful when you play Dawn of Defiance. Please feel free to like and subscribe for future content on the channel. If you have your own tips and tricks you'd like to share for Dawn of Defiance, share them in the comments below. Have a wonderful day. This is Dazza signing off.